Peace, people. I just have a question to ask. Does homosexuality supersede God's laws? I see in today's time, we are at an all-time high with homosexuality. Let me start this video off by saying this video was being made for educational purposes only, not to bash homosexuality, but to come from the scriptures of the Bible and other books dealing with homosexuality and how God feels about homosexuality. So now, with that being said, if you do not believe in the Abrahamic faiths, whether Christianity, Judaism, or Islam, or you don't believe in God, this video is pretty much for those who believe in God and follow those faith systems. So now, basically, last time I checked, reading the scriptures coming from the Bible states in Leviticus 20 verse 13, if a man has sexual relationships with a man as one does with a woman, both of them have done what is detestable. They are to be put to death. Their bloods will be on their own heads. This is the Old Testament and the New Testament. I'm going to read this again. If a man has sexual relationships with a man as one does with a woman, both of them have done what is detestable. They are to be put to death. Their bloods will be on their own hands. So accordingly to the Bible and Islam, the Quran, whichever one you want to pick, Judaism, Christianity, Islam, and other religions all around the world, God answer or respond, the way he responds to homosexuality is by killing them. This is God's words, not mine. I'm just a messenger. So my thing is, my question to the people, to the government, in the court system, when you go to court, it says clearly over the judge's head, in God we trust, right? Meaning that we're supposed to be America, a Christian country, following God's laws. Is that a thing of a past? Or does homosexuality supersedes God's laws? Inquiring minds want to know, because accordingly to the scriptures, God has destroyed the world before, Sodom and Gomorrah, to where that he has rained fire on the people of Sodom and Gomorrah for practicing homosexuality and other lawless acts, but homosexuality was the key reason why God destroyed the earth in the past, or destroyed towns in the past. So, my question is, as a people of today, are we safe from God's wrath? If God was angry about homosexuality in the past, is he not still angry today? Or did he change his mind? Inquiring minds want to know. I have to ask these questions. I have to ask these questions because at the end of the day, when you sit back and you look at the signs of the times, it's like the Bible, the Quran, these books are revealing themselves. They're revealing exactly what God said will take place. We're starting to see famine. We're starting to see earthquakes all over the place that we're not really hearing much about on the news. There's earthquakes, minor earthquakes every day. We see what happened in Japan and other places. We see what's happening all over the country and all over the world with these storms. You have end-day storms where floods are killing people. People are being forced to move and evacuate. We're seeing HIV at an all-time high. All of the stuff that the scriptures is talking about is coming to play. So now, my question is, the same wrath that God said will be upon us people for practicing these unlawful acts of homosexuality and others, but right now I'm dealing with homosexuality because it's something that's not just being a choice with people, it's also being pushed to the forefront. Nobody walks around speaking about what's going on in their bedroom on a daily basis, because what happens in your bedroom stays in your bedroom. It's your own personal business. But today's society, and dealing with America, because I'm going to deal with America right now where we're from. I thought America was still a Christian country. I thought the majority of America practiced Christianity. So if this is the case, and y'all supposed to be coming from your book, and this is supposed to be God's word, God's will, God's word, God's will, then when did it get to the point to where that we just defy God and say that God's word and his will is a thing of the past, and we're just going to do exactly what we want to do? Is this where we at as a people, to where God's law is a thing of the past and homosexuality is the future? Is homosexuality our future God? Inquiring minds want to know. I just have to ask these questions. Secondly, why is it that if this is God's answer, his wrath is upon homosexuality, then why are we so comfortable as a people knowing that God has destroyed the earth many a times before, where you can see certain places been hit with asteroids like the Grand Canyon? You can see underground cities in the ocean. Just go to National Geographic. Look on YouTube. You can see these ruins in the oceans where the earth have been destroyed before. And some believe that this was the cause of homosexuality and the people indulging in unlawful acts that God said, no, you cannot do. So if this is the case, and for those of you who believe, because this is strictly for you, you who believe, are you ready for God's wrath? Are you ready? Are you willing to sit back and suffer the wrath of God because you sat back silently and allowed these wicked governments who's supposed to be Christian? Mind you, Barack Obama was supposed to be a Christian. Even though y'all said he was Muslim, he was supposed to be Christian. And he ushered in laws to uplift and uphold homosexuality when God's law clearly said, once again, if a man has sexual relationships with a man as one does with a woman, both of them have done what is detestable. They are to be put to death. Their bloods will be on their own hands. God said to put them to death. It's not my words. God said to execute them. This is not my words. This is the words of God. O you who believe. So if you or somebody who practice Christianity, Judaism, Islam, and other religions that have the same laws in place, then you are totally, your silence is approval, and you're totally going against God's law. You are allowing your government and the people in power to defy God's law. And because of that, the wrath of God will be upon you. Peace and love, people.